keep up with calls like Tom's silver perspective, make sure you stay in touch at dtitrader.com/telegram. This morning, the Magic 5 included SLV, GLD, GDX, plus the QQQ and the SPY for good measure, but definitely a focus on metals today. And that was a carryover from last night where Tom talked about silver rocks at 8 p.m. Eastern last night. So this is not just coming in on top of the thing. We've been there since the beginning. Quick disclaimer here because we are talking about markets. Futures, options, and currency trading all have large potential rewards, but they also have large potential risk. Make sure you're doing your due diligence when looking at trades that you want to take. Make sure they fit what you're looking for. The past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. And again, focus on controlling risk when you're approaching trading. We got a lot of news impacting this market as we move forward. Week start of the final week of February. We're counting down to the end of the month, which is kind of a big deal because right now, when we look at index futures, the S&P below the open of the month. We'll see how that plays out. Still plenty of time left in the week. We'll, really keep in touch with this, but the high and low today are going to be very important in terms of setting up the rest of the week. We still have those winds of war that Tom talked about last week, U.S. and Iran tensions. Also, Puerto Vallarta, or Vallarta, I can't roll my L's on that one, but tense situation on the Mexico border town. It's not looking great down there. That's one of the big events over the weekend. We'll see how that plays out. The winter storm, kind of getting into that. New York dealing with another snowstorm. NVIDIA earnings later on this week. We'll have PPI on Friday and tariffs after SCOTUS. And that's basically after that ruling from the Supreme Court. That's one of the big things that is pushing a level of uncertainty and definitely a level of safe haven going towards the metals, gold and silver. So, kind of a consequence of that Friday ruling. And then we've got the State of the Union coming up on Tuesday. The This is a big list, and this is basically the small list of what we're actually looking at. So these are the things that you should probably be focusing on, and there's a lot. Now let's go to get Tom's opinion on what's going on. Tom, the fallout over tariffs and the uncertainty that has put it into the market, the safe haven buying in gold and silver, that's kind of the highlight here. But there's a lot more happening in this market, isn't there?
Okay, I want everybody to write this down. And this is something you really have to write down and understand. The big picture on tariffs, and this is my opinion, is unchanged. Nothing is going to change over the course of this year, next year, or year after with the amount of money that's coming into this country. I'm just going to tell you, that's my opinion. It's not only my opinion, it's Scott Bessett's opinion that nothing will change. Now, there'll be a lot of noise in the market. Hence, if you remember, we bought pocket puts. And there was a reason we bought those pocket puts. I did it more for winds of war than I did for tariffs when I look back on it. Okay. And the winds of war are blowing. They said you can't believe everything you read. They said this Thursday they've got a meeting with Iran this Thursday. My guess is that it'll be more of the same with nothing to be done. And therefore, if you count the 10 days that Trump gave, 10 to 15, next weekend is a likely spot that I believe we gotta be careful there. That's all I'm saying. That's the way I'm playing it, okay? And whether it works out or not. So you ask yourself, the market's down today. It's at 68.38, and we were up at one point today to a high, I think, Chuck, 69.24 was it? What was the high today?
Well, we got up a little bit higher than that. That was the overnight. We got up to 69.30, a little bit below Friday's high of 31.50. So right
Right.
in that area.
We stopped short of getting to 38, but the point being is that the market's selling off, and it's selling off right now because I think this is a Monday. And y'all know how Mondays are. They make it all look so bad. They get everybody going one way to take your money on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we're not going to play that game. We're going to make money where they'll pay us. And I think if everybody looks at what we've done, they can compare it against anybody else out there. And it's been a pretty good week, a pretty good uh, day so far with the profits we've been able to take. Okay. And the puts that we have are the pocket puts. And I haven't closed them out. I was asked several times. I said, you still got some uncertainties out there, and we're not above 7,000, which is really the number I gave when we put it on. So we got a few more days there. But silver has pulled back from the highs. I think it's a buy, and I'm gonna wait to after Genesis, and I'm gonna reload my gun because I sure did unload my gun at those highs this morning. And so that's what you do. You buy low and sell at a higher level and then buy it again. We got an uptrend here. We're taking advantage. And I will tell everybody in my futures first. I want you to look at that symbol SIC, SICK26. That is that 100-ounce silver. Okay. And now Skip says that the government owes $100 billion from tariffs. Skip, if you believe that's going to happen, I got some land down here in Florida I can sell you. It ain't going to happen. It might look like it's going to happen because all the media is going to do all their noise, but there's not going to be a net, what I would call a net outflow without a net inflow to offset that. I'll go back to what I originally said. The tariff income will match what was forecasted this year and next year. Take that one to the bank, in my opinion. That's a pretty good opinion today, isn't it? And everybody can be wrong. I can be wrong, but that's what I believe. Next. Yeah, I'm buying SICK26 after Genesis if it sets up. Genesis positive do it. Today is our newsletter. That's going to be a big issue, isn't it, Jonathan?
Every Monday, well, every first trade day of the week. Of course, that's Monday this week, most weeks.
Chuck, do you ever evaluate what we say in there and the value of this newsletter? It's really pretty valuable. People tell me all the time, Tom, that $9.99 for a year is pretty valuable. I made X dollars, about 100X on it, what it's worth.
Yeah,
But
definitely a huge way to start out the week. You get those weekly Magic 5 stocks, the big earnings, if you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to watch, that's big. Of course, the news items, and Tom, you can't beat those special opportunities.
Yeah, and if you do still have the SIH, just hold on to it to about Thursday. First notice day is Friday, and then you ought to roll it over to the K's. If you still have that, it's liquidation only. So there is an issue with the COMEX right now because not letting new contracts come onto that deal. I think that's pretty good stuff. Train and trade here at 11. Hopefully, we're going to teach you something today that makes you money in the future. I'm excited. That GDX has been paying us too, hasn't it? Woo, yeah. All right, T-Buzz Talking Trade. This is where we post a lot of trades, and we post them from here if we do it. In fact, I'll probably do a trade in here. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Today's Monday. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow, but I know I'll do something in the Silver Wheel at 1. Yeah, that's going to be valuable. The resources. Tell them about the resources, Jonathan.
Yeah, and I'm posting each link into the Zoom chat. The first is Tom's first book, Winning the Day Trading Game. You can listen to it chapter by chapter. We give it to you completely complimentary just for being here. Same goes for the white paper booklet at DTI. There's Tom's YouTube page. Be sure to like and subscribe when you're there so you know when Tom goes live and you can help spread the word. That long link there is the important document or important terms to know document. Here's a link to Tom's penalty tape, which who wants another day to re-listen to that penalty tape before we quiz you?
Let's
We'll
go
have
to Friday. I got to prepare myself, or we got to come up with 5 questions, Jonathan. Be thinking about 5 questions asked on Friday before I give that big gift away.
Yep, we'll do.
And the way it works is listen to the penalty tape, be able to answer those questions. You'll be eligible for a drawing that I'm going to do on Friday. Make sure I do it on Friday, okay? We'll do it right and train and trade Friday.
Friday, February 27th, last trade day of the month. That's a perfect day for it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Penalty tape quiz. There's your resources. Here's the first 3 days. I just updated it a minute ago. We got the S&P as of a moment ago at 68.37, which is below the 3-day low for February, 68.62. That's why it's showing up short. NASDAQ also showed up short because the current price of 24,682 is below that 24,783 number. Crude oil is long above 65.5. Gold is long above 51.10 or so, 51.13. Bonds above 115.15, 115.5 or so long. And Bitcoin is short below 72,000. We got a lot of short here. Of course, these are all index related. Since the S&P and NASDAQ futures are short, then the ETFs should be short cash indexes. The SPY, I've got to fix that SPY there. I'm not sure where that came from, but let's keep on going down the list here. In fact, I'm going to take those off the board so there's no confusion. And I'll fix those in a minute. We got XLU long, financial short. Been like that for most of the month for those 2 ETFs. Here's some silver, Pan American Silver, Newmont Mining. Hecla's got a little work to do, just barely below its 3-day high, but KGC is long. A little bit more about KGC in a little bit on the slides. GLD, GDX, same thing there. Looking good. Looking good in metals, and that's exactly why Tom's talking about metals today. Now your Mag 7 not looking so hot. Look at all those shorts in the Mag 7.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. One of the biggest beneficiaries would be Amazon if they had a whole bunch of money coming to them. You think their stock would be going down if they were going to get a bunch of refunds? I'm just laughing at. I'm laughing at I'm sorry to laugh. I laugh at the media. Okay, I mean, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Anyway, Walmart would be another beneficiary, wouldn't it? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Those stocks would be soaring if there's going to be a bunch of refunds, at least in the near term, anyway. Look at McDonald's, J&J. They've been pretty true to be long. That grid, I've been long it. I'm gonna probably recommend it in March, but it stays strong.
Someone requested the slides. I posted the link into the chat again. Now this slide that has the spreadsheet is slide number 9. Just a reminder, this is the last week of February. So after this week, as we work into March, the numbers will change on this spreadsheet as we get a new month on board, but the link won't change. So be sure to save the link so you have it for the next month, rest of this month, next month, and all months after that. Click the star at the top right of your favorite web browser once you get on the page, and it should bookmark it for you.
That's pretty exciting.
Okay. Tom, you asked me to dig this up. This first time I learned about this particular index. Apparently it's from CNN, but it's different from volatility. It's different from the VIX. So here's your fear and greed index you asked about. Found a good little snapshot of what it is on one of the websites. Okay, well, what it is, a composite sentiment tool that scores the market on a scale of 0 of extreme fear to 100 of extreme greed. Now, they have a number of different categories. They look at components. They're listed there on the chart. But let's get to the actual indicator there. There's a link if you're curious about it. cnn.com/market/fear-and-greed. It looks like this on the web page. You can go there and read about it. But Tom, you asked about it, so here it is. We're on a 43 rating. We're on the fear side.
That even supports the case for higher prices right there. Yep.
It's like that old put call ratio.
Yep. That's it. So, I don't know where I read about it. Maybe it's Barron's or one of those. I heard about it and I thought this is pretty good, and it's something I didn't know. I wanted to educate myself, so I told Jonathan, look up and sort of educate us on it. Looked like a pretty good thing that's cooking with gas, And anyway, you gotta laugh when you see good things happen, right?
Well, you just look at this and you see that, a year ago it was in the fear stage and the market's higher than it was a year ago. So kind
Yep.
of contrarian indicator, just like the put call ratio was used for so many years. But
Right.
Tom, let's get to the focus of the day. You wanted to talk about metals.
Yeah. First question I got for you, Jonathan. Did we take any profits this morning?
You did. I got slides. We're going to look at some daily charts of all these different metals markets. And then, last night showed your record and
Yeah,
silver.
let's look at if we took any profits. Because that updates me when you say, "Hey, it gets my motor running if I know we took some big profits this morning." So let's just see what we did. You got some charts to go through, right? Okay. Yeah, go back to the start. Okay. Hold on. Go back.
You want to see the profits first or the charts first?
Let's go look at the charts, then we'll get to the profits. Save the icing on the cake for later.
That's how we had it here. Sounds good. SLV is first up. I put MTI up there for us.
Wow. Ought to be long that stock. Anybody been telling you to get long this stock y'all know of? SLV, anybody been telling you to buy it? Oh, yeah. That looks good. All right. That looks good. GLD. Oh, that looks even better. That's a gold miner there. That's a stock I got on. Remember when I bought it at 99? I said, this thing's going to 110. It hit 110 today, Jonathan.
Sure did. Look at that.
All right.
110.54 high of the day.
That doesn't mean it stopped there. That's just an old rule I've had. Oh, that PAAS. Remember when I got us long that in the 20s? Look at it now.
Yeah, you trade a bunch of options on that one.
Let me just stop for a second. I want to give Bill Sample, longtime student, a lot of credit. Bill has always been in gold and silver. And one thing I learned from him, because you learn from people, right? Some of these things that you get into, you ought to hold on to. And that PAAS is one of those stocks. If you look back at it, it's been a steady producer over the years. It's a good stock. Just to share with you, everything's not a trade, is what I'm saying. And the older I've got, the more I appreciate that. Royal Gold's good.
Yeah, Tom, you bought this at 193.76. Actually, they acquired one of our other
Yeah,
we were in, and so
Royal
they're
Gold.
up about $100. How about CDE? You bought it twice earlier in the year, or last year, I guess it was 485 and 735.
Where's
You
it
had
at now, Jonathan?
as of this morning when I took the snapshot, it was about close to $25.
Hey, Bill, you have any of that CDE? All right. All these stocks I'm listing are stocks you might want to nibble on because I think we're going high. This is one I really love, the KGC. Look at this one. 983, 1057, 35. That's been it didn't take us long to get there on that one, did it?
Yeah, shot up to 39. Yeah, settled a little bit now at 35. We'll see what's ahead. But yeah, you entered about $10 twice. Great trade. Another good one here. Great one. EQX. Remember that one? EQX. You bought it at six and
Oh
a half.
yeah, look at that baby.
Fresh new highs on that one. Again, these are charts I took this morning. So those are fresh new highs at EQX. Tom's original entry was down at six and a half. And AG, Tom, a new high on this one. You bought it at 670 and 732.
You know, the thing about it, I'm not going to be right on everything I do, but I am going to be right on 4 out of 5 things I do. That's proven over time. And this is a classic case where I just got into a bunch of great stocks at a key time. Man, oh man. 670, 732. That's pretty cool.
Very cool. I know last night you showed your record Silver Wheel is about 77%, but you booked 3 new winners this morning. So that number's going up.
All right. Oh, 24% return. That's 240 on $1,000. 30%, that's 300. Y'all see what I'm doing here, folks? Giving you a scholarship to join me on the Silver Wheel. Is that another 30 there or 32 on that one? Let's see. If you put $1,000 up, did I just give you a scholarship if you're in my Silver Wheel? Give me a yes if I did, if you put 1,000 on each of those. That's pretty cool. That's right, 81% accuracy. But let me,
What's 81?
I'm 81% accurate on my Silver Wheel now. I've improved from last night. We had 3 big profits. Adam brought us some lunch. Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome.
Hey, folks, I got to thinking about this. Y'all might have other people telling you about silver and gold, and I'm sure a lot of you do. But here's my challenge for you. You got a 14-day really free trial with me. Take the Silver Wheel. You'll never quit if you ever start trading silver and gold with me. And of course, I don't want you to come in the door and out the door, but I'm just going to tell you right now. Take advantage of that on the Silver Wheel because the day at 1, I start another run. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? I'll compete against anybody you got. Here's your chance. 81. That's great. Go to dtitrader.com/wheel and join today. I think we got about 14 spots left. Okay. And I'll be back at 1, Jonathan, to do the wheel. You gonna play the tape, let everybody see it a little bit more. Does everybody understand what I'm saying about taking this 14-day run with me, okay? Don't miss out. People
Tom,
are in there go, what a great idea.
Tom, I was thinking I'd replay last night's planning session. How's that sound?
Yeah, play last night. That'd be great. Why don't you do that?
All right, I'll cue it up.
Also, remember, any option that you do with me, you got 72 hours. So if you put something on Friday, you got Monday, Tuesday, and out Wednesday if you're not making any money. Okay? Even Dinosaur is going to take me up on that offer. Y'all get in there. Listen up, get signed up. We'll be ready to go at 1. Get into the room. Thank you, Jonathan. I'll see everybody 1 o'clock, and tonight we got Futures First at 7:30. Thanks, Jim R, for saying that. Play the tape. Folks, I would ignore today's downside action. I bet you my gut tells me, based on the fear index and everything else, we're going to be a lot higher as we get through the day. We'll see if Genesis says that or tonight it starts turning. I don't think you're going lower.